Okay, so when we talk about Doge, what is it with the Democratic Party that waste should not be looked after, or we should not want to save money that is being wasted? And what is it with, I would say, some politicians and some people that believe it's more important to care for people across the ocean or illegal immigrants that you're bringing in and they're just really walking to the border, obviously taking away the lawful place of people that genuinely need asylum, that would qualify for political asylum and they're fleeing persecution, etc. And when we look at the numbers last year, and well, technically the past 4 years, and we look at the images, there's really no excuse for why a Democratic congressman or a senator would, in any shape or form, defend that. There's some basic principles, and when President Trump talk about common sense, it's clearly something that everybody seems to say they have, but he's very short supply. Um, the This past election has shown to the world that we do we are living in a very big change. I mean, we're going through some very humongous change in a lot of aspects. Most of all is that we are beginning to question a lot of assumptions and even institutions, what their purpose, what they're doing, and it seems to be it seems to be very big surprise to the people that should be overseeing, you know, that's the duty, literally the function of the US Congress is to consent, to oversee, you know, um, all this waste has been happening for decades. And that's really not the union that was thought or designed. That's not the purpose. And a few years ago in Boston, I saw that, and a friend of mine who is Brazilian, but had moved to the US for, a long time ago, and he's a citizen. And he did complain to me that he could not get Obamacare or free care in Massachusetts, but a lot of the people that work with him could. And I thought of myself, just like how crazy that is. It just it is an interesting model, and not getting to the conversation whether Bernie Sanders believe it's a human right, but we all should, and we all should have the money and the resources to afford care. It's a very positive thing for an economy. But if you think that you have a system that literally would not serve a citizen that has been paying their taxes, but will give free care to someone who is undocumented, that is that's very odd. And the compassion that we were, or at least I was forced to believe that is all compassion. And every time you ask questions, it's literally like, why? And when we see the media and we look at how things are happening, so if you question, by the way, it should be the role of the press. You're a conspiracy theorist, and you're deep state, you're crazy, you're far left wing or right wing, extreme right wing. They keep give you names. And essentially, I'm really looking forward to the confirmation of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. It 2 years ago when I saw the whole thing, the whole story, and I read part of this material in these books. It is just preposterous that we kill another Kennedy and, you know, bluntly, and is middle of the street, and nobody was accounted for. They they conducted, in my opinion, one of the biggest character assassinations I've ever seen. And since we're living in this very tumultuous time, I thought of myself, look, it can't be that bad. This guy was a hero 2 days ago. How come? It was about 2 to 3 years ago. How come he's such a, crazy person? How can they be describing him as such a crazy person? What about all those lawsuits that he won against polluters and things that were clearly very negative to people? Well, the point of the matter is we should and we must work for change. It is time that we look at things with different lights. We rethink, obviously, things that haven't worked, and we all strive to work together. That's my that's my 2 cents. Join the movement, join change.